Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we will have a really tiny kit. It comes in 100 scale and it copies British Infantry tank. It's a Valentine II in 100 scale. It should be quite an interesting thing to build, and as you can see, it's a snap fit. It's a part of so-called war games series from Zvezda, so if you had some experience you'll understand what we are talking about. But this is a really interesting opportunity for some modders to experiment with a small scale build, and that's why I decided to take a look, because it's a completely new plastic and it should be available from today on. So first of all, you can notice that box size is really tiny. Here you can see that I can cover it with my hand. We have quite nice box art here. Next, on the side we have some safety information. On the rear side you'll find a 3D image of the model, and here, by the way, you can see the name of this series, Art of Tactics, so you can use it for some wargamings and maybe for some tabletop games. And here we have some other kits from the same series. They're also really tiny and interesting to build. I guess we will review them sometime later. And box is sealed with the original Zvezda tape, so if you do not have this thing on your box, ask your seller, because it should be there, otherwise it means that box was tapered with. And now I'm going to cut through it, open it. It's a side opening box, and inside we have several things, so I'm going to remove them. And by the way, this model was purchased with your help, with your donations, so I'm really thankful for this, because it gives us a chance to check this kit together and of course see something interesting in this review. So all plastic frames are packed into a sealed plastic bag. As you can see, these are 10 colored sprues, so I'm going to open it right now. I will have to use scissors because otherwise it will be a bit tricky procedure to do. So just give me a moment. But all in all, these kits are a pleasure to build, and I hope you've seen our Ferdinand movie. It was exactly about the same scale model, and it's quite funny thing because we assembled it in stop motion, so you can check it on the YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel. And we are going to start with this plastic sprue. So here we have track parts. And of course, due to scale, track parts are molded together with road wheels. We also have here the turret parts, and maybe I'll bring it closer on my hand so that you can check the external features, which look more or less good for such size. I mean, we usually expect less in such small models, but here you can see that Zvezda decided to make everything what is possible. And actually, with modern technologies, you can replicate a lot of stuff even in tiny scale, so that's why we see here quite a nice feature set. And of course, next thing is the hull. So it comes on the separate plastic sprue. Here we'll have to assemble these two things together, and all the suspension parts, they will be installed from the side. As you remember, road wheels were molded together with these tracks. And external features on the hull, they look more or less okay. And by the way, it's not that tiny model. I would say I've expected a smaller tank. Here you can see that it fits on my palm. And if I flip it over, of course, inside we have large guiding elements, so it will be quite a straightforward process to get them together. And of course, you do not have to use glue, because as you remember, we have a snap fit kit which should be assembled without glue, and that's why I can even recommend it to beginners who are brave enough to assemble a small model first. Maybe it might be even, let's say, possible to paint it with brush, because scale is not that big, so you can experiment with painting techniques which are done with brush. But again, if you have an airbrush, definitely use it, because it will give you a bit more convincing result. By the way, note the attachment point for the turret. It's quite unusual because we have this pin sticking out on the top of the hull panel, and it looks quite funny. Again, these hull panels, they will be connected with these two large points. And next we continue with assembly manual. So this one is printed in black and white, but it's not surprising because Zvezda usually supplies it just like this. There is no marking guide as far as you can see, so you have to check your references in case you would like to replicate some particular marking option. But here on the first page we have some intro to this kit. Just give me a second. So it's a part of Game System Art of Tactic World War II, and it's not a history note, unfortunately. And here on the rear side you can see assembly process, which is easy to guess even without assembly manual. So in case you are confused, you will be able to check these schemes and understand what you have to do. By the way, here is a small note, so you can use glue for a bit more reliable connection of the parts, but of course you don't have to because it is a snap fit kit. So it should be already available. You can get it in any good model shop, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about such a list. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.